Hi, my people. This is Show 15 member, and I am here to break down the tips and strategies to winning Sportsbet millions. I know you have seen a lot of videos about all these things, but this is nothing similar to any of that. This is us just teaching you how to win good money, millions. We have a lot of our followers ask us because they have confirmed what we post is legit. Because when we post our weekend games, we also post our winnings when we do win, because it's not like we win every time. And our followers look at it and say they check and they see that okay, it is a legit ticket. How is it that they don't win with the games, but we win with the games? This is what prompts us to make this video. So we will try and make it as fast and accurate as possible. If you have any questions after, leave a message in the comments because we don't want to make it too long. And we promise you, when you are finished listening to this and watching this, you will see that it is different from any other thing you have watched. So let's get straight to it. So, the very first tip before we even start talking about anything, the very first tip is you need to get rid of greed. If you do not get rid of greed, you cannot win soccer. You cannot win sports bet. I know people say, oh, you are gambling. Yes, but you are using your money. The platform has given you an avenue to make money. They know it is not easy, but we have been playing for years that even all of us as the Shop 15 group member, we have all made this mistake of trying to use 100 naira to chop 6 million. We realize that it is almost impossible, if not impossible. And with all our experience is what brought us to this stage of how we chop hundreds of thousands almost every weekend. The number one, get rid of greed. You have to. You cannot take 30 games, 40 games, and to go and put 1,000 or 2,000 and say you want to chop 60 million or 30 million. It is hard. It's not that it's impossible. There's nothing that's impossible, but you will probably die before you chop the money. So what do we mean by get rid of greed? We just simply mean play less games and add more funds. The lesser games you play, the higher your probability of winning the game. Doesn't mean you will win, but the higher your probability. So you play less games, you put more funds. Instead of playing 40 games and putting 1,000 naira, why don't you play 4 or 5 games and put 10,000 naira? Now, the 5 point theory is just a continuation from where we stopped. It just simply means if you put 40 games together, you're looking at almost 200 points, 300 points, 1,000 points, including bonus. And that's why it's tempting. You put all that, and then you see that when you put 500 naira, you want to chop 12 million. No. From experience, we learned that the lesser games you put together, the higher your chances of winning. And we feel that 5 points is the most reasonable point for you to be able to at least successfully make some type of money. Because note, if you pull 5 points, which consists of at least 6 to 7 games, and you put 1,000, then that's 5,000. If you put 2,000, then that's 10,000. What that guarantees you is at least your money back and money to play the next day. That's what 5 point guarantees you. So, but yes, we know the video says chop millions, but stick with us. You will understand what before we are done. Now it says split and merge. What do we mean by split and merge? Because we are talking about 5 points, but we are also trying to encourage to teach people how to chop millions. Split and merge. It just simply means you take our 20 games, which we have shown you. I mean, if you understand football, you should be able to pull out maybe 10 more. But you can just go with our 20 games, but you can add 10 more. And what do you do with those 30 games? You look at those 30 games, and then you pull 5 points from those 30 games. You look at the games you really like from those 30 games. You start putting them together. When you have 5 points, put money. So that's what we mean by split. But what do we mean by merge? You do that, and you do that 2 to 3 times. Now we are going to quickly tell you why this works miraculously. It's because if you are doing it the other way around, which is pulling 200 points from 40 games, you are trying to get to 200 points. So you will just pick the games with big points or high points. But if you know you are looking for only 5 points, what you will do is you will look at it and say, okay, this game, even though they are supposed to win, and the point is 1.60, you are sure you know they are a better team, but you're like, they might not win, no. Because you know it's just 5 points you're looking for. It makes it easy for you to now say, you know what, instead of me playing straight win, why don't I just play win or draw? And that is what will save you. Some games they will say, oh, over 2.5. You know that over 2.5 is higher point. But you'll be like, they might make that over 2.5, but why don't I just play safe and do over 1.5? Because you know it's only 5 points you're looking for. It makes it easy for you to make those decisions. And that's the idea behind the 5 points. But then, how does it make sense to you to chop millions? What you now do is you, from those 30 games or 20 games that we have provided for you, you pull out 5 points. And from those 20 games, you should be able to pull at least 5 points from it. So even if all you have is 1,000 naira, if you use that method to pull out 5 points, it helps you pick the right game, because some games that is straight win, you might decide to do win or draw. Some games that you say over 2.5, you might decide to do over 1.5. When you do that with those 20 games, you will be able to pull out 5 points in 3 places. And that 5 points in 3 places, it just totals 125 points when you merge them together. So even if you don't have money to play it separately, 5 points, 5 points, 5 points, use that method to pull out 5 points 3 or 4 times and play it all together. And you'll be thanking us sooner rather than later. So you do that, take 20 to 30 games, you split it into 5 points each the best way, which is what we have just explained, and then you merge. You add them together again. You remember you had the 30 games, but now you divided them, and then you've pulled out the best 5 points you can, and then you now put them together again, and then you play it that way. And I promise you, you will be thanking us. Now, more tips. Use their money to play. Somebody else asked us this question, and we are going to explain what that means. When we say use their money to play, the question that we were asked was, why don't we play during the week? We do play during the week. We play every day. But what we do is we do not play to win. We focus on the weekend because the weekend has many more games. So what we do is we use that same 5 point strategy, but what we do is instead of 5 points, we do 3 points. And then that 3 points makes it is even easier than 5 points. And what we do is that 3 points, we play it. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we win, sometimes we don't win. But guess what that 3 point helps us do? It helps us to gather the money together for what we will use to play during the weekend. So sometimes we end up having like almost 70,000, 80,000 to prepare for the weekend. But remember, that 7,000, 70,000, 80,000 started from maybe 5,000 or 10,000. But because we are playing 3 points from Monday to Thursday, it allowed us to gather that money. So even if you lose that 70,000, 80,000, remember it is 5,000 you used to start with. So you're not technically losing 70,000, but you are losing 5,000. It makes you easier. It's not easy for you to take 70,000 out of your pocket to go and play Sportsbet. But if you take 1,000 and you're building that 1,000 Monday to Friday, you're using it 3 points, 5 points, and you're accumulating that money, and by Friday you have like 10,000. If you use that 10,000, you don't win. You will not feel it because you started with maybe 1,000 on Monday. So that is a very important strategy that you need to pay attention to. Is use their money to play 3 points, getting ready for our Saturday and Sunday games. Then another tip is play online. The advantages of playing online is some games. So like when we post our games, we usually wait for the last minute because some games don't show on this Sportsbet platform until 24 hours. But that's one perk is you can play games late. Sometimes the first game might spoil your ticket. What playing online allows you to do is you can quickly go back and play again. So that because sometimes the first game spoil your ticket doesn't mean that the remaining games are not good. You can go back and play again. And most importantly, the perks that come with playing online is plenty. If you look at some of our games comes from the perks that all this we personally we use Sportsbet. And sometimes it allows you to use the option of if 2 games spoil your ticket or 3 games spoil your ticket. That is perfect for some people. So that's one of the reasons it's good to play online. So we hope we touched on everything. We don't like to make our videos too long so people can understand it and not get tired. We advise that you subscribe and hit the notification button so that you know when our games drop. Because this is not the only reason. The most important thing is you have to know how to even forecast these games. We have been doing it for over 20 years, so it's easy for us. And it's a combination of friends from Nigeria and Ghana. And we know how to predict these games. We've been playing it for years, even before it became a sports, a big thing. So we are very strong on our forecast. We're very confident on the games we've put together. So Those strategies would at least help you. When we show our 20 games, it's now left to you to add to it or use our 20 games the right way. You cannot lose. You will win something every weekend. Worst case scenario, the money that you used to play will come back and you live to fight another day. And we are going to, we've been winning millions, but we are waiting for when we will win our next million, because we are going to share some of it. We're going to share a percentage of it with our subscribers. So share this video, subscribe, follow us on our Instagram. All the links are available, and let's win this money together. And until then, good luck.